Hello boys and girls, mums and dads, and welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, well, a very big welcome, and if you're returning for further punishment on this channel, it's great to have you back. Well, didn't I do well with Santa? These are some of the things, beautiful presents I got from the family, and also some of the things I picked up when I was at the National Model Railway event in the NEC last month. As you see, I've got a nice array of Oxfords, all pretty well 1930 to 1960. The model railway that I'm going to build, as I've mentioned before, will be during that period 1930 to 1960. So everything that I buy is sort of tailored to that. I have one modern diesel. I only bought it for as a novelty, really, but everything I have is steam era. Apart from the Oxfords, you see, and the various bits of scenics that I've collected here, I was also fortunate enough that Pauline bought me this lovely static grass machine. And one of my daughters, now that I'm making YouTube videos, and she thought I was now in show business, I should have a clapperboard. So this isn't take one, this is probably take 46. And I was also because of my new YouTube channel, one daughter got me the same daughter got me this also. So that's quite novel. So I'll put that up somewhere. I'll try and put it above the TV or something. I was also lucky enough to get some very nice lights, you see. I can't, they're plugged in and wired in over there, but two very nice lights, and they're on tripod, so they're great. You may have seen the little video I put out a couple of days ago. It's now the 28th of December. So I'm hoping to have time to edit this video tomorrow and put it out. And what I'll do is that I mentioned in the last video, I had a bit of a problem with one recording, whereas the after I'd edited it, it corrupted and I lost it. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'll try and cobble these bits of video together and see if I can make a bit of a program out of it. And that's all it is. In a couple of days' time, obviously, it'll be New Year. I'm unlikely after today to put another video out before the New Year. And the next part of the project is to actually start to lay the track. So just to recap, this room didn't exist at this time last year. This was just an empty space. So in the March, after I retired, I set about building the tables, and I also discussed that the way the room was laid out. The space in this room is actually, I think it's 24 foot by 8 foot, and I'll explain how I went about designing the layout. It's very much suits all my needs, really. I mean, you can never have too much space, but this is by and large, when you consider most people probably have a 8x4 board with a train set, I suppose, or they're in the loft. I've got a very generous space here. So I'll discuss the tables, the way the tables are constructed, the height of the tables, the shelving, the way the room all came together in future videos. Also, apart from trains, I will be, as I start to put the train set together, I will be looking at some of my other collection of die-cast cars, Corgis, Dinkies, Matchbox, Oxfords, you know. And as you see, there's got some of the Oxfords in front of you, some of the new ones. So there's lots to cover, lots of interesting toys, and I hope that it inspires the younger viewers, the children amongst you, to understand the benefits of looking after your toys, because many of my collection many parts of my collection is from my childhood, but I have to say probably the vast amount now has been bought as an adult collector. So I'll leave it there for now, and there's lots more fun to have in the videos ahead, but I just wanted to show off how well I did at Christmas. And obviously with some of these things, I mean, I'm going to have to learn how to use this static grass spreader, and that. So, and I've also, I think, I don't know if I've mentioned, I've got my bus wire ready. So the next thing is to move on. The green beige has to come up. The green felt has to come up. All this cork that's here has to go down. And one of the things about my videos, I will never put a video out as an expert, because I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just a hobbyist. I suppose for most of my life, I've been a collector. And of course, I've always made Airfix kits all through the 60s, and I've even got some here now. There's a little Bristol Blenheim. So we'll look at Airfix kits too. So there's lots to look at. So I hope everybody has a very nice New Year. Obviously, it's a strange thing to mention Christmas or New Year, because somebody might be watching this video in June. So I apologise for being out of step with the date. Anyway, enough of me waffling again, because I'm very good at waffling if you've watched any of my videos. And I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoy what's to come. I'm going to look now at the Man From U.N.C.L.E, which, strangely enough, has just returned to British television today, Sunday, around 4 o'clock-ish, on a channel called Talking Pictures. So I'm going to be looking at some Man From U.N.C.L.E memorabilia. And what was the other thing I was looking at? I know I've got something else interesting on the video. Well, I say interesting. I know what it was. It was a brief chat about the track that I'll be laying, because that's obviously the next thing to do. So there we go. Let's have a look at what other. I'll try and edit in so as it doesn't look too rough. Let's try and have a look at some of these other videos I made the other day that I lost during editing. See if I can put something together. But by the time you see this, it'll probably be New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, you know, at the earliest. So all I can do is wish you all the very best. Stay safe, and I hope all you boys and girls out there that got all nice presents, look after all your toys, and you know, appreciate what you got. All right then, let's carry on with the show. I have an old biscuit tin here. Goodness knows how many years old this biscuit tin is. It's an old Jacob's biscuit tin. It says 1 kilo, so it can't be that old. It says 1 kilo, and I know that's got to be old, because I think they only have 800 grams in a tin of biscuits now. But what's important about this biscuit tin? Well, for quite a time I did lose track of this biscuit tin, where it was. I kept saying to my daughters, that biscuit tin has got to be in the loft somewhere, and I couldn't find it. Anyway, I eventually did. So what's in this biscuit tin? Well, it's something I've had for a long time. Well, I'd say 60 years, to be honest. So what's inside it? Let's take a look. So, get rid of the lid. What's in here is bubblegum cards. Well, that's what they call them in the States. I think they call them bubblegum cards. In the 60s, these were very popular with children. And today, I'm going to show you, and I'll try and get this image back up here. And today, if you see that image on the screen behind me, we're going to be looking at some Man From U.N.C.L.E cards. So I'll get them out and we'll take a closer look at them and see what they look like. And here they are. Road card there. Here they are, Man From U.N.C.L.E cards. These were, I think these were by a company called A, B and C. Yes, they were A, B and C cards. In the 60s, these bubblegum cards were very popular with children, and you'd collect them and swap them in the school play yard and with friends in the street. You'd even go up to children you didn't know and say, "Do you collect? Do you collect Man from U.N.C.L.E cards?" And often another child would pull a handful of sweaty sweaty cards out of his trouser pocket or whatever, and you'd look at each other's cards. I don't think I can handle them the way I did, but you'd flick through them very quickly, looking, and if you had a duplicate of one, you'd swap it with another kid for one that you didn't have and collect them. Now, I used to get these. I can remember when, as a small child, I'd go to the shop with my mum when she'd go shopping for groceries or whatever, and she'd say to me, "Now, if you're good, I'll buy you some Man from U.N.C.L.E cards." So obviously, I would be good, and mum would buy me. I think they were a threepenny bit or something. It's a long time ago, but they were inexpensive, and as such, a very inexpensive toy, really. These cards used to come in a pack, sort of a little flat pack with about, I think there was 3 or 4 cards and a little piece of pink chewy, pink chewing gum, and so over weeks and months and whatever, you would collect these cards and swap them with your friends and what have you. So they really are a beautiful little reminder of going to the shops with my mum on the basis that if I was behaved, I got some cards. Well, look at this. I've got the full set, so I must have been a really good boy. Anyway, I'll move the camera and we'll take a look at these Man from U.N.C.L.E cards. And the reason I consider them a toy is because, apart from the pleasure you had of collecting them and collecting the full set and swapping them with friends and everything in the schoolyard, when you've got the full set, the backs of them all makes into a big photograph of Napoleon Solo, Elia Kuryakin, and many children amongst you. You won't know who that is, but they were the secret agents who worked for U.N.C.L.E. Yeah. And of course, everybody wanted to be a secret agent. Everybody wanted to be the Man from U.N.C.L.E. So, the back of these cards makes up an image of Elia Kuryakin, Napoleon Solo, and Mr. Waverley. So we'll take a look at that, and we'll try and put them together and make up the picture if we can. And remember, children, if you're watching this, when you get these little cards, I'm sure kids today must get something. Keep them. When you've fed up with them, just put them in a little box or in a drawer somewhere and keep them. And many years later, you may be glad you kept them. Surprisingly enough, when I'm talking to my peers, people of my own age, they often say to me about some of the collectibles I've still got. They say, "Goodness, I had that. I wish I still have it." The James Bond car and the Batmobile are a couple of ones that come up regular. Everybody sort of says, "Oh, I had that." I think the James Bond car sold over 6 million. So, probably every boy, and some girls in the UK had one. Anyway, let's move the camera and take a closer look at these Man from U.N.C.L.E cards. And look, here's the great image of U.N.C.L.E. Oh, it's gone off. That's clearly time to move on. Right.
You live up to your guarantee.
But if you'd only read the contract, you'd know that only the lubricated parts are guaranteed, man.
So which are the lubricated parts?
The wheels.
As far as I'm concerned, you're a bunch of crooks. You better take back your machine and refund my money. What's the matter with him?
I guess the excitement was too much for him.
Can you imagine that? He was gonna shoot me before he give me my money back.
There's your refund.
May I have your report, Mr. Silver?
Yes, we have them all here. We're bringing them in for interrogation.
Napoleon Solo in action there. If you were a boy in the 60s, The Man from U.N.C.L.E was compulsive watching. Everybody wanted to watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It was great. And I'd just like to show you a couple of bits of memorabilia from that time. I've got these Man from U.N.C.L.E bubblegum cards that were produced by a company called A and B and C. And the famous Corgi Toys Man from U.N.C.L.E car. The Mr. Waverley ring has disappeared. I remember actually it snapped. You know, I was a bit rough with it as a child. And also a Man from U.N.C.L.E annual. So some little bits of memorabilia. Now with this Corgi car, I believe that the Corgi Model Club would like to, from what I've read, the Corgi Model Club would like to reproduce this car again, and I'll put some close-up shots of it into the frame. Funny strange thing is, I don't ever remember seeing an Oldsmobile Super 88 in the Man from U.N.C.L.E, but I suspect it was possibly, you know, just a generic American car, and they decided to make it a Man from U.N.C.L.E car. Interesting little feature, the Elia Kuryakin and Napoleon Solo are supposed to pop out. One doesn't pop in that well. It never did function very well, that one. And an interesting little story was that most of my cars, pretty well all of them, although slightly play worn, are in excellent condition. But this one, if I can bring that closer to the camera, I don't know if you can pick up on it, but it had these two lights on the bonnet, and one is snapped off. And that was snapped off by another little boy. We were outside the house playing on the pavement outside the street. And I remember this boy's name. His name was David Chanter. I don't know where he is now. I've not seen him in, you know, over 50 years since, since we were, I don't know, I've probably not seen him since we were about 14 or something. And he snapped the light off that car. Never did another boy play with my toy cars after that. I hope wherever David Chanter is, I hope he's well and in good spirits. And he's not forgotten to me, because he broke the light on my Man from U.N.C.L.E car. A little bit of nostalgic trivia, personal nostalgic trivia. So, the Man from U.N.C.L.E, very, very popular. Still got the annual. Still got the car. I've still got the bubblegum cards. So we'll take it. I'll show you these bubblegum cards in a little bit more detail, and who knows, we may revisit this Man from U.N.C.L.E car. I have to say, as a result of lots of play, the ring has disappeared, the box is tatty, flaps missing off it and everything, but that's a consequence of play. But I did have the pleasure of playing with it. And I don't know if there's anything in the bottom. Maybe a little leaflet in the bottom. Let's see. The chances are this little flap here hasn't been opened since the 60s. Let's see what's in it. Let's see if it's interesting enough. Might have to open both sides and push whatever's in out. Let's see. There's something in there. Oh, there's a little something in there. Right, what's this? Let's take a look at this. Now, I'll guarantee this hasn't been opened since the... Oh! Look at that. Okay. Oh, it seems to be a page out of a magazine. I must have, but it's got nothing on the back, so it can't be a magazine. I don't know where it came from, but at some stage in my childhood, I must have found this picture and folded it up and put it in the bottom of the box. The things kids do, eh? Anyway, I just thought it'd be nice to share this. And obviously, that must have been a bit of card to give a bit of rigidity to the box. I'll put those two things back in there. So anyway, another little piece of nostalgic toy history. Yeah, so a tatty box. Now, if the Corgi Model Club actually get the licensing agreement, because I believe that's the issue for Corgi Model Club, sometimes it's not always easy to get the license to make these cars again. Although they were very successful with the James Bond car and the Batmobile. So, and I have seen in reports that the Green Hornet Black Beauty car is on its way. So who knows? We may see the Man From U.N.C.L.E car return. The return of the Man From U.N.C.L.E. Now there's the thing. Okay, let's move on. And here we have almost a full set of Man From U.N.C.L.E cards. These were what was bought with bubble gum in packets. They came in packets of, I think, 3 or 4 cards with a little piece of pink chewing gum. There's 55 cards in this Man From U.N.C.L.E set, but I appear to be missing 2. And what I'll do is I'll turn these over, because these Man From U.N.C.L.E cards, all these separate images of Napoleon Solo and Elia Kuriak, the characters portrayed, played by Robert Vaughn and David McCallum. These cards, when you turn them over, they create a jigsaw. So on the back of all of these cards, there's a component to make up the jigsaw. It seems I have quite a lot of extra ones, spare ones there. I think there's over 60 of them. So there we are, the Man From U.N.C.L.E cards, bubblegum cards from 1965. They're quite interesting to look at now, and each one of them is autographed by the character, except this one with this lady. I don't know who this actress is. I'm sure it would be possible to Google her and find out, but there we go. I just thought I'd like to share these with you, and I hope that you enjoy seeing them. They are 60 years old now, and some of them, I'm not sure if some of them were slightly yellow when I got them. I have a recollection that I think some of them may have had this slight yellow hue to them, but clearly age hasn't been kind to them, and they are slightly play worn, because they were, from my childhood, and you'd look through them and look at them with your friends and what have you, and even swap some. So there we are, these beautiful vintage Man From U.N.C.L.E cards from 1965. So what I'll do now, I'll turn them all over and we can take a look at the jigsaw. And here we are, the almost finished jigsaw of the Man From U.N.C.L.E, Napoleon Solo and Elia Kuriak, played by Robert Vaughn and David McCallum. The 55 cards in the set, not quite complete on this occasion. I was convinced I had the full set, and whether I've lost 2 somewhere or they've just misplaced them somewhere in amongst other cards, but almost there. These cards apparently are not that rare. They were produced by a British company called A&BC, a company which existed from the 1950s to 1970s, I believe. These cards are not that rare. I think there's still a lot of them about. Mine are in fair condition for the most part. They were handled a lot as a child. You know, you'd look through them and what have you. And I've got quite a few spare ones, as you can see. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing these historical children's bubblegum cards from the 1960s. These were actually produced, if I've not said it already, in 1965. So there we go. So we'll leave Napoleon and Elia at this stage, and we may look at some other bubblegum cards at some time in the future if I think that people enjoy seeing them. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed them.